There are no public whispers about UNLV becoming an expansion candidate for the Pac-12. And Quinn Ewers has nailed down QB1 in Austin, and Sarkisian is feeling really good. Welcome to episode 192 of College Football's Peek Around the Corner with your host, Greg Pflugar. We cover everything in college football because we love everything in college football. And if you do as well, subscribe to our ever-growing channel. Smash that like button if you like our content. Share the video with your family and friends. Let's first get to the UNLV story written by Ed Graney, the Las Vegas Review-Journal. UNLV's Power 5 pursuit slowed by academics and market size. We're not going to go through the whole article. We're going to go through some bullet points. We'll provide a link in the description box. You can read the whole thing again by Ed Graney of the Las Vegas Review-Journal. A popular theory across the country right now that if San Diego State hadn't already secured itself an invitation to the Pac-12, its recent run to a national championship game in basketball all but clinched such a reality for the Mountain West school that the Aztecs at this point are as close to shooing in as imaginable. And still no public whispers about UNLV and its possible inclusion in a Power 5 league. Not even a hint. Things might be trending that way, and that's one mighty big head scratcher. It's not an overly weak resume for the Rebels. Improvement definitely needs to be made in certain areas, but the entire picture is worth a second and perhaps third look from a major conference like the Pac-12. Just not sure that has happened. Again, Ed Graney, Las Vegas Review, holding things back. You might not hear their name, but I don't think at all UNLV hasn't at least been in conversations, says former UNLV athletic director Jim Levengood. You know how these things go with most people. Everything has to happen now or tonight or certainly by tomorrow morning. It doesn't work like that. Just because UNLV hasn't been mentioned publicly doesn't mean they haven't been mentioned in private. At least should be. Lots of reasons at which to point. So what's holding everything back? It's believed UNLV wasn't among the four schools that the Pac-12 voted to explore for expansion. John Canzano is a veteran journalist who has covered the Pac-12 expansion issue more than anyone nationally. He agrees there are positives to the UNLV's pursuit. Allegiant Stadium as a centerpiece facility, potential for gaming sponsorships. But the Pac-12 presidents, Canzano says, are academic first. And here's a potential problem for UNLV. Perception versus reality. This isn't 40 years ago when talking how the school should be defined academically. It has made more than favorable strides. Has a law school and a dental school and a medical school, a research institute, one of the country's best hospitality schools. But it also ranks 146 in public universities by U.S. News and World Report, perhaps too low for some of the highbrow presidents across the Pac-12. The things UNLV has done in terms of what people know about or read about or hear about have nothing to do with athletics and everything to do with what they have done in terms of graduate studies, Levengood says. They've done great work in a lot of the areas that might not be as sexy to read about. And finally, it has been reported that the Pac-12 CEO group identified three criteria for expansion candidates: academic culture, geography, and media market. UNLV is fine with the second. It's better than most think with the first. It could be better on the third. That should come in time. That media market is going to continue to grow. What do you think? Put down your comments in the comment section below the video. What do you think about UNLV being a possible Pac-12 expansion candidate? There hasn't been really any whispers in public. Has there been any in private? There probably has. There's probably been some discussions between UNLV and the Pac-12, but I agree. I don't think UNLV is part of the plan for the Pac-12 if they can hold together with their 10 current schools and expand. Definitely San Diego State is target number 1. We believe SMU is target number 2. Now, if the Pac-12 implodes, if the Big 12 is able to get 2 to 4 of those corner schools or more, and if the Big 10 come a calling for Oregon and Washington, maybe the UNLV will be a candidate, probably will be a candidate for Pac-12 if they can reconstruct themselves with Oregon State, Washington State. We shall see. But again, that's going to have to be after a big Pac-12 implosion. Stick with us on this story. UNLV, would they be a candidate after implosion? But right now, we don't believe UNLV is a candidate for Pac-12 expansion. Now, let's get to these spring football games. We covered the Ohio State game here in a watch party at Peak Around the Corner. We watched Kyle McCord, Quinn Ewers. He lit it up for Texas. ESPN, Sarkisian Longhorns feel very good with Ewers as the starting quarterback. Again, we won't go through this whole article. We'll provide a link in the description box. David Wilson, ESPN staff writer. Any intrigue about the Texas quarterback race was quickly put to rest on Saturday as Quinn Ewers appeared comfortable and in command, according to Coach Steve Sarkisian. So the quarterback battle, it's already over. It's already over in Texas. Back to the article. I thought Quinn was really efficient today, Sarkisian said after Saturday's game, in which Ewers completed 16 of 23 for 195 and a touchdown. A leaping one-handed grab by Georgia transfer A.D. Mitchell. Wow, I saw that grab. Holy smokes. I think it's pretty clear to say that Quinn's our starting quarterback, and we feel very good about that. Wow. The remainder of the highlights came from redshirt freshman Malik Murphy, who was playing in the first game at action at Texas after being injured most of last season, missed the first 5 practices this spring. He finished 9 of 13 for 165 yards, including a 79-yard touchdown pass to freshman receiver John Tay Cook. Arch Manning, who drew a large ovation from the crowd upon entering the game, was 5 of 13 for 30 yards and often didn't have much time to throw. And that's been a common theme throughout these spring football games. These defensive lines are dominating the offensive lines. Back to the article. Ewers, who had an up and down first season in Austin, said he took a new approach to preparation this offseason after feeling like he didn't live up to his potential last season when he threw for 2,100 yards with 15 touchdowns and 6 interceptions. He looked on the verge of a breakout against Alabama before suffering an injury that sidelined him for 3 games before he returned with 4 touchdowns in a 49-0 win over Oklahoma. But he also struggled at times, like against TCU when he had 11 off-target passes in a 17-10 loss and passed for 171 yards and an interception. Ewers' 64.3 QBR ranked 53rd nationally, only 53rd. I wasn't where I wanted to be last year, he said. I feel like I let most of the fans down, and I don't want to be in that same situation this year. Sarkisian said earlier this spring Ewers had gotten in better shape. He also cut off his trademark mullet and cleaned up his beard, with Sarkisian noting that has also had the benefit of people taking him more seriously. You can read the rest of the article in ESPN in the link provided. So Quinn Ewers has locked down QB1 at Austin. People are now getting excited. He looked great in the spring game. He's cut off the mullet. He shaved the beard. He's gotten in shape. The one thing that I want to be looking for, the one thing I'm definitely going to be looking for early in the Texas football season isn't the mullet, is not the beard. It's Quinn Ewers' footwork in the pocket. Last year, it wasn't good. He was so off balance in so many of his throws, he could get away with that in high school when he was the number 1 high school recruit a couple classes ago. But in college football, especially in the Power 5, he can't do that. He can't get away with that. That's why he was 53rd in the nation in QBR. It's his footwork. Show me his footwork. Let's see it early in the season. Has he improved on that? All those other things, that's great. But if he doesn't have the footwork, if he still looks like a quarterback with his footwork coming in 9th grade football, It's not going to work for the Texas Longhorns. We shall see. We shall see. He's going to have to prove it to me here at Peek Around the Corner. I think there's going to be a quarterback change midway through the season in Texas. Let me know how crazy I am. Let me know how wrong I am about Quinn Ewers in the comments section. Give me your thoughts. Until next time, from all of us at PATC, to all of you, please, you all take great care of each other. Thank you so very much.